Hi everyone, my name is Barb Cruz and I'm a member of the Michigan Depression Glass Society, and today I have for you the pieces of glass that we had made for our anniversaries. I'm also going to give you a brief history of our club. I know I did a really extensive history many years ago. This one will be quite brief to go along with the pieces that we had made. And I'm proud to say that next year in 2022 will be the 50th anniversary of the Michigan Depression Glass Society. Our club was formed in 1972. All of the information that I am using were from past club agendas and meetings, and also from a member, Nancy Carlson, who was number 13 on our roster. Nancy met Norma Killinger when Norma put an ad in a Livonia paper for two red salt and pepper shakers. Nancy answered the ad and ended up buying the salt and pepper shakers from Norma. They talked about glass. They became friends. And Norma also had a friend, Bev Whitson, and between the three of them, they had a huge passion for glass and decided to form a Depression Glass Club. That was in 1972. Norma did everything. She belonged to a coin club that met at the Livonia Senior Center, and she used their bylaws and their constitution to form the bylaws that we now use today. They would meet at Norma's house and they came up with the agenda they were going to use for the meeting. They came up with a plan on how to attract members to our club. Their first meeting was, Nancy thinks, in April or May of 1972. There were 8 people that came to the meeting. The dishes that were shown that night was homespun by Jeanette Glass Company, and Nancy could not remember what color they were, but she said they probably were Norma's dishes. Of course, Norma was number 1 on the roster. Bev and John Whitson were number 3 and number 4, and Priscilla Gimple is number 25. And the reason I mention those 3 particular people is because they are still members of our club today. And a lot of you would know Bev and John Whitson. They are the ones that organized the club sales booth at our glass show. August 31st, 1973, we became a non-profit corporation. And on those papers, Norma was president, Nancy Carlson was secretary, and Bev was our treasurer. First thing everyone wanted to do was have a glass show. That was October 20th and 21st, 1973 at the Ypsilanti National Guard Armory. Our special guest was Jean Florence. How did we pull this off with no money? Well, one member came up with an idea. What if we all pitched in the money enough to get the show started at the Light Guard Armory? The show was a huge success. Everyone got their money back and they were able to put money in the bank. One way that the club came up with was a glass package in order to try and attract members. The glass package was also in 1973, and members brought in pieces of glass that they weren't using anymore that may have had a chip or a crack in it. And these boxes were filled, and members would take them to other clubs that they were in to try and attract more members for us. In 1977, our roster was over 100. We did a lot of things to attract people, not only to our club, but to our show. We had displays in local libraries, museums, and at Greenmead the month of October in order to promote our show in November. And this was all done by the members with their own glass. In 1978, advertising for our show was a woman named Judith Ohlert. She did an ad for us. She was the national tabletop representative for Fostoria Glass Company. Her special was bridal table settings. We also had a spot on Kelly and Company on Channel 7 that year. In 1981, the board approved unmarked Fenton at our show. Our Christmas dinner was changed from Schoolcraft College to the Finnish Center, and we started raffles at our monthly meetings, which we still continue today. In 1982, we had our first bus trip. That was the idea of Wanda Britton, because she always went to Shipshewana. And every bus trip has been a success. Norma Killinger was our first president. She was president for 4 years. She was followed by Pat Mitchell, Betty Merritt, and Kathleen Fox. Which brings us to our first 10 years and our first anniversary piece. This is a Fenton. It's the Iris collection. I still have the tags on it. It is a handled basket on bone white and a small vase. I think it's about 4.5 inches tall. And what made this special, a touch of sand. Sand carving is the newest design innovation by Fenton. Artists using hand techniques carve with sand, bringing the iris to life on a background of sparkling amethyst handcrafted art glass. Subtle shades of the iris are achieved by the varying depths that are engraved on the glass surface. The design becomes an integral part of the glass, and its permanence is assured. The Iris collection is truly a treasure that will bring lasting joy throughout the years. So this was our first piece. It's our anniversary piece. It says 10th anniversary MDGS 1972-1982, hand painted by Frida L. All of these pieces from Fenton, with the exception of one, they are all signed. This one has a different signature. This one has the logo on the bottom, but it's almost flat. I'm not sure if that's why they put a Fenton tag on it or not. And this one has the large oval raised tag on it. So this was our first anniversary piece. And also that year, we had a special bell made for dealers that have been doing our show for 10 years. I do not have that bell, but I will always be looking for that. In 1982, we had our first Potluck December dinner. We still do that to this day. Originally, members just brought in food, and we would all share, and you would bring in your own dishes and silverware, and we also carry on that tradition today. Past presidents of the club were also told in 1982 that they would be given a lifetime membership. Presidents in the 80s and 90s included Ken Godwin, Marge Truscott, Wanda Britton, Dave Snyder, Charlie Haas, Connie Fosness, and Joan Newman. Our next piece is our 15-year piece, 1972 to 1987. It's a Fenton crystal mug with an applied handle, and you can see the etching of Michigan with the date and Michigan Depression Glass Society on it. It also has a clear star where the city of Livonia is. Now, a couple years ago, a member was cleaning some things out and found a box of stationery, and this was the stationery that we used. And I don't know if you can see it on there, but On the Michigan, there's a clear star on that also, noting that that is where our club meets in Livonia. So this was our 15 year. And that one is crystal, and it's not signed because it is etched. In 1982, I found a note from my mom in her glass things, because she used to help with the show quite a bit, and it said, "Don't forget to pick up Hazel Marie Weatherman from the airport. She's a special guest at our show this year." And anyone that knows a lot about the glass books knows that the two Hazel Marie Weatherman books are pride and joy of many people. We have both of those in our library, which we have monthly at our meetings. And those are the only two books that we have that we do not allow to be taken out of the building. The next piece that we have, and this was our 20-year anniversary piece, and it is a compote with dolphin handles. It's called a covered candy box number 1532. It was originally called a candy jar. It's pink, iridized, and has a floral setting going all the way around. And the bottom, MDGS 1992, 20th anniversary, hand painted by, I believe it's a D. Anderson. So this one is, this one's one of my favorite. I just love the dolphin handles on this. The next anniversary piece is a rose bowl. This one does have the paper tag on it, what's left of it. And this one, Michigan Depression Glass Society, 1972 to 1997. It does have the little Fenton logo on it. This is our 25-year anniversary piece, and it comes with a brass stand, and it is blue, opalescent, and iridized, and the pattern is Lily of the Valley, and it's number 845. And this one was introduced in 1979. For our 35-year anniversary, we have this Jadeite Basket by Mosser Glass Company, and it's paneled, and on the front we had put on there the apple blossom, which is the state flower of Michigan. And MDGS 35 years, marked 2007, and this is paneled all the way around, smooth on the inside, and the handle is decorated. And this one is very nice. Most of the club members do have this one. Our presidents the last 20 years have been Linda Mangio Payne, Ron Breton, Al Carlson, Greg Jones, myself, Barb Cruz, Jonathan Furman, Susan Muldowney, and our current president, Lynn Morozic. I'd like to say we can't thank our youngest past president enough, and that is Jonathan Furman. He sets everything up so we're able to have our meetings with our members' glass and special programs like this to keep our club going until we can meet in person again. Thank you, Jonathan. This one here is 45 years MDGS. It was made in 2017, also by the Mosser Glass Company. And this one is called a Glimmer Light Fairy Lamp. It has a cobalt blue base with a hobnail effect going around. It's scalloped on the edges. It has a lighthouse with a lake scene, of course, denoting all of the different lakes and lighthouses that we have in Michigan. I'd also like to note that they have their logo on the bottom, and it's an M for Mosser glass, and it also has the mark of Ohio on it, surrounding it. In 2022, like I said, we will be celebrating our 50th year. And it holds true to what we had written on our original nonprofit corporation papers. It says, the purpose of the corporation were in these words, written by Norma Killinger: to broaden our knowledge, to aid in the preservation of Depression-era glass. We still stand by that today. Thank you, stay safe, and I can't wait to see everybody at our meeting.